All right, everybody. Hi, and welcome to the official Body Spartan podcast. My name is Gabe Tuft. I am the founder of Body Spartan and your host for the next, hour. I am joined tonight by the lovely, luscious, dreamy, sexy, ripped, shredded, very intelligent, amazingly beautiful wife of mine. That's your cue.
First Lady of Body Spartan, Priscilla Tuft. You always give me the best intros.
I do. I give you a hell of an intro. I think of you as like the main event.
Oh.
You know, back when I was wrestling, the main eventers, dude, they got the best intros, man. They had the best music. They had the best announcing thing happening.
Do, 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 do.
Shut up. Not my nemesis, I swear. Anyway, guys, so tonight, we're going to be talking about stress and 9 ways to mitigate stress. Everybody's got stress. It is overwhelming to some people, and it has a lot of negative side effects, and it's one of the reasons we're going to be talking about it. But before we get into that, as always, we have to talk about what's going on. There was a great example today of what could have been a really stressful event, but wasn't. So today, I get my leathers back from Anthony's Works.
Really? 2 S's? Leathers Works?
Leather Works. There we go.
Oh, okay. I was like, that is not a dynamic name. You add an S and it just takes so much away.
Yeah, and I got this cough from, I think we had like that flu that was going around last week, and I've got this nasty cough. I always have a cough of some kind. It's just crazy. Anyway, so I get my leathers back because when the bike went down, when the R1 went down, I tore the sleeve pretty good, so I had to have it fixed. So I've been waiting for 2 weeks to get this stuff back so I can go ride and feel confident and protect him. Still don't have the R1 back. It comes back tomorrow or Saturday, I think. But I'm riding this R6 track bike, and the R6 is way slower. But anyway, I hop on it. I'm like, this is going to be a great day. And I'm just going to go for a ride. It's sunny. There's no rain. It rained last night. Everything was dried out. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to go for a really relaxing, chill ride. I ride out about 45 miles away from the house down these back roads to a place called Fairfax. And on the bike, 40 minutes. Pull into a gas station to clear off my face shield because I got a bunch of bugs on it. And as soon as I pull out of the gas station, I get to the stoplight, and there's this puff of white smoke out of the bike. I'm like, what the shit just happened? And I'm all, maybe it's a fluke. And I kind of look down. Nope, not a fluke. So I pull into the gas station. By that time, the whole thing's steaming. The radiator had blew. And I'm like, oh, well, this is cool. I got roadside assistance. So I just remain calm, call Geico, tell them I need roadside assistance. After 20 minutes of talking to him, the lady comes back. She's like, look, I've called everybody on our list, and everybody that's not on our list in the area, and as soon as they can get a truck to you, is 3 to 6 hours. I'm like, girl, it's 3:30 in the afternoon.
I am so glad that I pay for roadside assistance.
I'm like, yeah, what's...
Tomorrow morning would be fantastic.
Oh, that was the other thing. She's
Thank you.
Yeah, she goes, there's one place that can get you in 3 to 6 hours. Other than that, tomorrow morning be the soonest anybody can get to you.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great. That's no problem. I'll just sleep here on the side of the road with my motorcycle. Oh my gosh.
I got 10% battery on my phone, and the sun's going down in about an hour and a half. And I'm at a gas station in the middle of Fairfax.
And it's a tidbit nipply out here.
It's starting to get cold. Most people will probably get stressed out. Call my dad. I'm like, hey, Dad, you got a pickup truck? You feel like driving out to come grab me? And he's like, Nope. I don't remember what the reasoning was, but he just couldn't. Like, there was something going on where my dad couldn't do it. And I'm like, I'll call Howard.
Then his mom.
Well, we'll get there.
Oh, my baby.
We'll get there. I call Howard, and Howie's like, oh, bro, I got to pick up Caitlin at 5, but I can come help you afterwards. I'm like, 5? So
or tomorrow morning.
You'd have to drive from Petaluma to my house to get the ramps for the bike and the tie downs. So that's 20 minutes.
And meanwhile, I am out of range in nature school, so he can't call me to help.
And the Rover doesn't have the trailer hitch on it yet, so I can't even hitch up the bike to that. So it wouldn't have mattered. So then I get a text from my mom. My mom's like, hey, I'll drive. I'm like, oh, cool, awesome. So my mom jumps in the truck, and long story short, she saved the day.
By
but
the way,
it took her a
she
while to get there.
always does
it's
that.
My mom, man. She's
oh man,
badass.
that woman, like seriously, she would cut off her pinky for any one of us.
Well,
she is an amazing woman.
And here's the thing. A lot of people could have been stressed out sitting there worrying about the bike and worrying about how they're going to get home. I'm like, all right, somebody's on the way. No big deal. What did I do? I went across the street. I found a little restaurant. I had some food. And I just sat there. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then I go, I don't want to be inside. So I went next door, grabbed a cup of coffee, and I just went and sat on the bike for an hour. And I just kind of looked around and I thought,
on the pig.
On the pig the R6 is a pig of a bike. It's wide. I don't like it.
Sit on the pig.
It's a pig. But I sat on the pig and I just looked at the hillside and this amazing sunset that was starting. And I thought, the last time I was outside appreciating a scenery scape like this, I think was when I was living in San Clemente and I was surfing. And I was on the water, sitting on my board, watching the sun go down, trying to catch the last couple sets. And I just thought, man, that was it 15 years ago, P? 2008? Mm-hmm. 2008. No, it's not 15 years. So it's 10 years ago. It's a decade ago.
You used to tell me, you're like, why I love paddling out and just sitting there when there's no waves? Because I'm like, there's not even any waves. Let's have dinner together for once. Goodness sakes. Like, why do you have to always be surfing? And he said, when I'm out there and I feel the elements and I'm present and I see the sunset, it's when I feel like I am most alive.
Ah, it's so true. In tune with nature. There's no phones. There's no internet. There's nothing out there. Just you and this very humbling experience because the ocean is powerful. You don't know what's underneath you. There's waves coming at you that can drown you. But yet, everything's in perfect harmony.
We really need to get rid of that chair.
You hear it squeaking now?
Yeah. So you guys, I do have
confession.
I have a confession. So It was me that was squeaking on the last podcast. I didn't think it was me, but I'm Italian, and every time I move my hands, which is every time I speak, the chair would squeak. So it was my chair that was squeaking, and Gabe was trying to save you, but I was blaming him because that's what I do because I'm a blamey pants.
Hey,
and
happy
now
wife, happy life.
And so now it's his turn. I'm like, fine, switch me chairs for this podcast. And so he's the squeaker, so you're welcome. But maybe next time we will throw it off the balcony.
Off the balcony.
Off the balcony.
Well, look, before we dive into our topic tonight, I do want to let you guys know that if you are new to our podcast, or you're new to Body Spartan, what we do is we change lives. And we do that through fitness and fitness programs. And we motivate you to be your very best self. Our philosophy is that if you can complete one of our 12-week programs or 10-week programs, you have developed the mental fortitude to basically conquer anything that you want. And trust me, it seems silly when you hear it for the first time. I get that. But the amount of mental certainty, willpower it takes to finish a fitness program from start to finish is a lot. And many of our customers unlock futures that they didn't know they had.
When you meet your potential in the gym, you find out what you're capable in every single aspect of your life. When you hit PRs, you realize I'm limitless. This is a game. This is all in my head, and you understand what you're truly capable of.
Amen to that, sister. Whew. On that note, if you are looking for a program that is going to get you to lose weight, lose body fat, gain muscle mass, we have several of them that will get you there. And trust me, these are backed by hundreds, thousands of testimonials, people that have completed our programs. It's backed by science. They're awesome, guys. They have their own custom dashboard. In every one of our programs, we calculate your nutrition for you. We give you your macros that it's custom for you. You get instructional videos. You get a preseason where we download all the information to you in a couple of videos, and we break it down so that there are no questions when you start and you are fully informed. Like I said, instructional videos for every single exercise, daily content. Even in the Unleashed program, I make sure that people have motivation every single day.
And our programs we've got male shredding program, we've got Genesis and G2, which just came out. For females, we've got Revolution shredding program. For males that are looking to gain size, there's Unleashed. And for those of you that want an easy way out, you're going to keep on looking. That's not us.
If you think this shit's easy, that's where you just screwed up. It always takes work. It always takes effort. There is no easy route. What we try to do is we try to take the thinking out of it for you, though, so that you can just look at what you're supposed to do. You have a full understanding of it. You go to town. You don't have to think about calculating your macros. You don't have to think about what exercise to do next or why you're, we want you to know why you're doing it. But the idea is that we have just done the thinking for you. So check out our programs, guys, www.bodyspartan.com. On to our topic tonight.
Are you guys ready for this?
You ready for 9 ways to mitigate stress? Let's talk about stress, actually.
It sounds like litigate, schmitigate.
All right, what do you want to call it?
Come on, okay. So
9 ways
stress
to relieve stress. 9 ways to conquer stress.
I'd like to see some comments. What do you guys think this episode should be named? Because we're already going to name it by the time we like your input
and expand your mind.
Look, we are democratic leaders here. We want your input, but we are going to go ahead and post this anyways.
We are democratic leaders. We want your input, but Gabe is going to decide what the topic or what the title of the podcast will be, no matter what you say.
And we are going to, we are going to guess what you might say. And then based upon those guesses, those educated guesses about what you will or will not say, then we will select a title that is going to be incredible.
That's awesome. Well, okay, so stress. Let's talk about stress and, what it is. And I think the big question that a lot of people have, too, is, we hear about stress and people are all stressed out because I got this and that and all this stuff. Can it kill you? That's a question that comes up quite a bit, actually. Can stress kill you? I've heard that so many times. And yeah, it totally can kill you.
Now we're stressed out.
See, this is why I got to turn the volume up on your mic, because you're 8 inches from it.
Oop.
So put that 8 inches closer to your mouth. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there. Well, check out this study. Columbia University Medical Center in New York City did a study where they included about 5,000 people. Actually, it says nearly 5,000 people. The caveat with this, though, is that every single one of them had coronary heart disease to begin with, and they were 45 years or older. The participants shared their symptoms of depression and stress during in-home examinations and on questionnaires that were conducted from 2003 to 2007. So this is a very long-running study. About 6%, or 274 people in that study, reported having both high stress and high depression. After a 6-year follow-up, so, it's now 2013, there were 1,337 deaths or heart attacks among the people in the study out of the 5,000. That is a huge percentage. And yes, they started with coronary heart disease. Don't get me wrong. That's a factor. But what this is here to show you is that stress played a huge part in that, specifically in the people that reported being depressed or having stress in their life, large chronic stress factors. Now, what are the causes, or what can stress cause?
Do you even understand how many touch points I want to hit on with that?
Well, you need to wait your turn, because we have all this stuff we talked about earlier.
Oh, I know. I didn't realize that this topic was so expansive. I didn't realize there are so much, you guys. And if you are suffering from heart disease or something that's going on with your heart in any way, shape, and form, understand that it is coming from a deep-seated emotion. Usually it's anger or sadness, loss of a loved one. And that can be somebody passing away or even in your life that you feel a sense of loss with. That can add stress. That's the most intense kind of stress. And the feeling of guilt is the lowest on the vibrational scale. So if you are feeling guilt, you better believe that it is going to manifest itself in a physical form, such as a heart problem.
Well, let's talk about the symptoms of stress and what it can cause physiologically in your body. High blood pressure is one of them. So yeah, absolutely. Heart conditions can be related to stress. Headaches, heartburn, rapid breathing, risk of heart attack, high blood sugar, increased depression, insomnia. Overeating is one of them as well. Specifically, we've talked about this before, overeating and eating foods that release serotonin in your body. Serotonin is the happy hormone that your brain releases. When you eat certain foods, your brain tends to release more serotonin. So it's a way to deal with stress and anxiety. People overeat to compensate for that.
And when you eat, you have a parasympathetic nervous system response, which is telling you, this feels good. This is okay. And when you have that reaction in your body, you're like, I'm going to keep doing this activity of eating this food. And sugar specifically, like Gabe said, it increases serotonin, but temporarily. And then you tank, and then your insulin tanks. And you want to spike it again because you remember that feeling, you're chasing it. And that's why they say sugar, scientists, scientists have proven, and I don't know who has done this study, so I probably shouldn't even state the study, but that sugar has as much of a hold on you emotionally and addictively as heroin does.
That's a well-known.
I mean, it's well-known, but I'm quoting a study and I'm not. Do get what
if you
I'm
guys
saying.
Google sugar and heroin, I guarantee you'll find that study and many studies that are very similar. It's actually been proven that it's more.
And when your wife pulls up your computer, they're going to be like, what is sugar and heroin? Oh my gosh, we're really going down.
It's actually more addictive than heroin. It has very similar properties to heroin. Another thing to be considered is that stress causes your molecular vibration to be lower. And as you guys know, we are all about high vibrational frequencies. Proven in scientific studies that your molecules vibrate at a higher frequency when you're happy. When you're stressed, you're not happy. And so your molecules vibrate at a lower frequency. And that happens, your body starts a degenerative process. And we'll get into that a little bit later.
Same thing with having a cold. Your temperature, your basal metabolic temperature.
Why are you laughing, Priscilla?
Because
they can't see it. They can't see what happened.
I know, and I sound crazy.
I just took my notes and I threw the first page in the air. It was awesome.
So it lowers, and that is a lower vibrational frequency. A lot of the things that we talk about on this podcast, you might look at and be like, dude, that's so esoteric. Like, that's so far out. That's so crazy.
Oh, we got a lot of esoteric shit.
Well, it's not so far off because when we look at, did you throw my notes too? Okay,
no,
you didn't throw my notes. You threw your notes and the mic.
I can't even reach.
I'm like, where did it go? So, see, blamey pants. There I go again.
You're so blamey pants.
There I go again.
Dried mangoes. This is going to keep me awake.
Is that keto?
I'm not on keto.
Is it a phase 2 day? Are you having a phase 2 day?
No, I'm not running keto at all right now.
So, I had a really good point that I was going to lay into, but there's a whole lot of like eating over there that is apparently so much more important than what I was going to say.
Let's talk about why we're incurring stress while you think about that point. And there is a study done by the by the American. I can't talk. That mango got me. Study by the American Psychological Association in 2017. It's called The State of Our Nation, and it gives the causes of stress throughout the nation. And I'm going to read a couple of these, and you guys have to understand that, yes, if I were to read these percentages, they total way beyond 100%. It's because people were able to check off anything that caused them stress. So it adds over 100%, but people could check off more than one box. Healthcare, 43%. The economy, 35%. Trust in government, 32%. Hate crimes, 31%. Crime in general, 31%. Wars, conflicts with other countries, 30%. Terrorists, 30%. High taxes, 28%. Social Security, 26%. And government controversies and scandals, 25%.
May I ask you?
Here is what I hear.
May I ask you a question about that? Those staggering statistics about the causes of stress in the nation. Where is that information?
Oh, well, that's exactly where I was leading. Here's what I hear. I hear news. And interestingly enough, in the same study, The State of Our Nation, it said that I believe it was 92 or 95% of all Americans watch the news. I don't watch the news.
So can you tell me, Gabriel, can you tell me how much, what percentage of your life do you spend worried about any of these things? When was the last time? No, don't tell me the last time. Tell me in the last 28 days, how much of your life was spent focused on these things? Or were you busy crushing it? Because you're not having filtered garbage going into your head.
So we don't have TV. We don't have cable. I have Hulu and I have Amazon Prime, and I occasionally will watch the X-Files as it comes out. I'm a longtime X-Files fan, but I really don't watch any TV. Priscilla watches zero TV. I have Amazon Prime, so I can watch movies. I feel like movies are different.
But when I was in college, every single morning before I got ready, or as I was getting ready for school, I would be putting on my makeup, getting all ready, and I'd be listening to the news in the background.
We all would.
I thought that's what adults were supposed to do.
That's what I did when I put on my makeup.
And I realized that I was in this state of panic all the time. I was in this state of fear. I was in this state of stress and anxiety. When I made the commitment to shut off the news, suddenly I became happier. Oh, it's amazing.
This is actually one of the 9 points, and I'm going to skip over something and come back to it because I wanted to do a nice little introduction, but this is one of the 9 points, and I call it controlling the input. So if you guys are listening and you know this from our previous podcast, this is the point where I say, okay, guys, if you're at home, pull out some paper. If you're at your laptop, open up a Word document. If you're on your iPhone or your Android, open up your notepad. If you're driving in the car, please do not crash in the car in front of you. When you do this, do what other people do. Write on your hand if you have to. I've seen that. We've had people write on their hand and post it. Or if you've got a car
key, you pull it out of the ignition, carve this into your arm.
That's yeah, that works.
I mean, we're in no excuse kind of family here.
If you guys take notes, you're going to remember this, and you're going to put it into action. This is why I have you do this. So start taking notes.
So get to carving.
Number 1, controlling the input. News and media. I've said this before, but man, news is filtered. Whether you guys believe it or not, I'm going to tell you, news is filtered. It's garbage. It's crap. It's everything that they want you to hear.
This was a talk that he had with Mia.
Yeah, I basically said, I asked her, I said, who's they, Mia?
Mia's our daughter, for those of you that do not know. Our wonderful, fabulous, high-spirited 6-year-old who said that they should make this.
Yes.
And so he gets down on her level and he looks her right in the eyes and he's like, honey, who's they?
The inventors.
Yeah.
And that was a great conversation with her because that was the moment I said, you know what, sweetheart? Every time you say they should make this or they should make that, that's an opportunity.
Oh,
that's
he was
the
so
moment.
Right on.
That is the moment when you go, I have an idea and I'm going to make this happen.
And
because we don't, part of the thing in our family is we don't blame and we take initiative.
Except for blaming pants.
Except for blaming pants across the way from me here.
Once in a while.
And we take initiative. And if we have an idea, we act on it. And
it's like our family creed.
The they is now you. And you now have the ability to change the world. Whether it's creating a car seat thing that Mia has in her mind. She's come up with some cool stuff for car seats. Whatever it might be, there is no they.
But if she was here, she would make you sign an SNDA, so we better not go any further on that. We've made the choice to train her at home. For those of you that are curious and haven't followed up on our lives, our 6-year-old, we do independent study with her at home, so we train her a bit unconventionally, but she is probably the most expansive human that I've ever met.
And she does not watch the news because there is no news in our house. We do not watch the freaking news. It's filtered, it's garbage, it's fear-based. And if you looked at, you listened to that list that I read from the State of Our Nation study by the American Psychological Association, every single one of those 10 major stressors in the states that I read off was something that you're going to hear in the news. It's a topic that the news talks about. Now, not only is news garbage, but you guys ready for this? Holy shit. Social media. Filter that shit, guys. Control what goes into your brain, because what goes in is what you think about. Your focus becomes your reality. Your focus becomes your reality. If you are focusing on negative stuff, if you are focusing on the news, if you're focusing on what's going on in North Korea, if you're focusing on what's going on in the economy or terrorist attacks or whatever the fuck goes on in the news, that shit shows up in your Facebook feed. It shows up in your IG stories. Like, it's everywhere. Somebody's always talking about it. Here's what I do. If they talk too much about it, I unfriend them. Because guess what? Social media friends, they're not real friends. They're pretend friends that don't give a shit about you. Your real friends are the one that you don't need to call on Snapchat phone. I don't know. I've seen that happen. People try to call us on Snapchat all the time. Is that what the kids do? They call each other on Snapchat?
See, you and I have such different. What's the word?
Say
we have different viewpoints.
You are the cumulative sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, whether it is on Facebook, whether it's on Snapchat, whether it's on Instagram, whether it is on your phone texting, or whether it is right there in real life. Don't let that shit come into your head.
So true.
Get rid of it. You know, it's easy on Facebook because you can just, if you're sensitive about hurting somebody's feeling, you can just hide them. You could, oh no, it's unfollow. That's what it is. I'm sorry. You could unfollow them without unfriending.
And then there's hide. But here's the deal. It would behoove you to never scroll your newsfeed. Never do it. This is my tactic.
Oh, this is great. I love this.
My purpose on social media is to serve. I go and I serve. If it's not positive, I do not post it. If it is not something that I know is going to add value to someone else's life, I do not post it. Now with the news feed, I've been kind of coddled into that a few times. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go down that path because it's always problems. It's always negativity because that's what's being bred right now. But if there's people that you're interested in contacting, go to their timeline. Check in on them. There are going to be people on your heart. If they have fun or funny posts, or you like watching their kid, shoot spaghetti across the room, go and see them. But what are you doing in the news feed? It is a danger zone.
You said it. It's a news feed.
Oh.
I mean, it's literally, that's what Facebook calls it. They call it a news feed.
It is.
When we were at the not Beta Breakers, it was the Disruptor Seminar for Facebook. We got invited, Brian Fikes, my chief marketing officer, and I got invited to this Disruptor Seminar at the Facebook headquarters in Menlo.
I love the name of it too. I love that.
But one of the things that they talked about was the creation of the news feed. They just had a little history blurb, and it was the news feed. So think about that. You're dumping stuff into your head that's causing you to change your focus. And, I want to throw back. This isn't always about money, but if you're trying to start a business, which is one of the things that we like to help people with, we like to help you be entrepreneurs. We like to help you find financial freedom. One of the things that we learned from a Tony Robbins seminar we went to was where energy goes, money flows. And it's true. But it applies to more than just money. Wherever your energy goes is where everything is going to go. I mean,
and what you focus on expands. So if you're watching the news constantly because your parents watched the news every single morning while they were getting ready because their grandparents watched, if you are focusing on the things that do not feel good, you will have more of that in your life. Is that what you want? There's different ways to get the information that you need. Are you getting a really important phone call or text? What in the world is more important than our viewers?
That was our brand ambassador, Sean Lehner. And yes,
what's going on there?
Sean Smith is flying out to Indiana tomorrow to go film the new intermittent fasting program. Are
you guys ready for that?
We're so ready for it. Oh, you're asking everybody listening.
I'm asking our peeps.
I thought you meant us. I'm like, yeah, we're freaking ready. We've been planning this for months.
It's going to be brilliant, you guys. We got some awesome things on the pipeline.
Sean has taken the initiative to do our next program, and it's killer, man. He has put on 19 pounds of skeletal muscle and dropped an amazingly large amount of body fat. I think it's been 60 days now. He's been doing his own intermittent fasting program. It's killer. And we are really excited to share this with you because the benefits of intermittent fasting are now being highly publicized, and the longevity, extending your lifespan, extending the positive things that are happening to your body with intermittent fasting. It's all being studied and published, and the results are always positive. So, okay, make your note. Of the 9, number 1, control the input. So control what goes into your head. And remember, your focus becomes your reality. What was originally number 1 on my list, which is now number 2, when you're trying to relieve stress, just throw your shit everywhere, Priscilla. Jesus. I do it once, and you have to just one-up me and throw 2 pages. So now we got paper all over the floor.
That was tremendously fun. Let's do that every time. That's a trip hazard
for our employees. You realize
Let's do that every time. That was so much fun.
It's free. You just throw papers.
It is. It's so savage.
Number 2 is, and can you guys guess what number 2 is? Please, try to guess. I dare you. Exercise and the gym. So write this down. Exercise in the gym. After all, we are a fitness company. This is a fitness podcast, kind of. But of course, gym and exercise is going to be on there. Scientists have found that regular participation in aerobic exercise has been shown to decrease overall levels of tension, elevate and stabilize mood, improve sleep, and improve self-esteem. Even just 5 minutes of aerobic exercise can stimulate anti-anxiety effects. I'm going to reference Tony Robbins again. The fastest way to change your state is to change your physiology. And your state is your state of mind. Your state is the vibrational state of your molecules within your body. Remember, stressed out, they're low vibrational. Happy, they're high vibrational.
And you've heard that phrase, state of mind.
Change your state. The easiest way to change your state is to change your physiology. And going to the gym and doing your exercise will change your physiology immediately. Your heart rate increases. Your capillaries expand. Your blood pressure rises in a good way. You start delivering oxygen and nutrients to your muscle cells. Your cardiovascular system kicks in.
And that's detected 24 hours after a cardiovascular session.
Your basal temperature increases. So there's all sorts of physiological changes that are happening in a good way. But that's going to change your state.
And you look better. And that definitely changes your state.
It does. It definitely does. So this is one of the things that I do. Well, let me back up. I was going to say I go to the gym. Everybody knows I go to the gym. And I go to the gym a lot, usually 7 days a week.
But can you say that like Arnold? That's what I think all of us really...
I go to the gym. No, I don't do a good Arnold. Howard does a great Arnold. Everybody down. It's a bomb. Get to the gym. Not the chopper. I have found over let's see, I started lifting when I was 14. I'm 39 now. So it's 25 years I've been doing this. That when I don't go to the gym, I have my days off. I take a day off every now and then. And when I have my one day off, I feel good. I'm a little antsy, but I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm resting. If I get 2 days off for any reason, I start freaking out. One, I feel unproductive. And two, I'm idle. And I start thinking and I start getting a little stressed out. The gym is one of the best stress relievers that I have ever found. That and sex, the two best things ever. But it's kind of, that's a state change as well. The point is.
That's cardio.
It's cardio. It counts. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, for some people. There's always like lazy sex, I guess. I don't even know what that is. Just saying.
Blushing?
Got her. All right, that was number 2. Get to the gym, guys.
But really, you guys, that is not only... Gosh, see, I want to go there. I don't want to be awkward or whatever. But you guys, that releases oxytocin in your system. And that's the same thing...
by that, she means sex.
Yes. But I'm not going to say that.
Have more sex.
But really... that is a major stress reliever.
Sure.
I'll let y'all Google that because I got to be proper.
Well, I don't. I just sleep like a baby. That's all I got to say.
See?
Yeah.
See? It's natural.
Also, you know what's really interesting is post, what do we call these?
Coitus?
Coitus? Is that what we want to call that? Post coitus?
I'm trying to be
I got no drive to work. I'm like, I'm going to take a nap. Oh, I'm going to eat a sandwich. I'm going to take a nap. Good night.
Gabe, are we going down that route?
What, I need a sandwich or orange juice or anything?
No, about like sexual transmutation.
I was just touching on it
briefly.
briefly.
Dude, don't get me excited because that is exactly what happens to a man. But to a woman, it is the exact opposite. It will fuel her to success in every single area of her life.
So the theory that, there's been studies done on this. So,
it's way more than a theory. This has been going on since... I think it was 1820 when Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich, which I mentioned that on our last podcast.
Stop it, Napoleon.
And that is the very first time that anybody went public about talking about sexual transmutation. And people think, that's so hot. That's so sexy. Well, actually, for a man, it's the complete opposite because he brings himself... Are you just wanting me to get back on topic?
No.
Okay, let's go back to the topic.
No, I was scratching an itch. Go, do your thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of lost track now. I thought that you were like, shut up.
I got to finish. So the point is, for a female, have as many orgasms as possible. For a guy, the idea is to get as close as possible to blowing your load, but don't do it. And
that's
I'm
up
sure
to like
you guys
30
can
days.
relate. And you got, oh man, I've never made it 30 days.
There's that, like you'll feel an anger, you will feel an intensity, you will feel areas around your
sacral chakra.
You know chakras. You are
of course
good.
I know chakras.
See, that's the husband that listens right there. I'm always talking about that garbage.
Come on.
And that is for Gabe, actually for more me than Gabe, that is my driving force in a lot of the things that I do behind the business aspects of my life.
Well,
so that's sexual transmutation.
For all you guys that
nutshell.
are in a relationship, if I know you can relate to this. If you do the deed and it's done, you're like, good night.
Oh my goodness, do we?
But if you do the deed, you don't finish, or if you just kind of are, if you're in the mood and you're like, I gotta work, babe, which is what I do a lot. I'm like, I gotta work, and I'm in the zone. If that release happens, man, I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm going to bed, and I lose that drive. If I don't,
and
if I don't do it, I work 20 times harder.
It fuels me and makes me feel more entrepreneurially powerful. And you guys just comment below just for my little questionnaire here. Would you like more information on that? Would you like us to do
sexual transmutation?
Oh my gosh, is that insane that I'm just curious.
Priscilla.
I'm just curious. Because it's not
licensed sports nutritionist, master licensed sports nutritionist, sexual transmutation coach. I'm gonna add that to your repertoire.
Yeah.
I just think of like
STC.
The title,
STC.
sexual transmutation.
Just STC.
I just think of a Ninja Turtle with a heart on. I don't know why. I hear transmutation. I think of a Ninja Turtle because they're mutants, and then I hear sexual. I'm like, it's just a Ninja Turtle with a heart on. It's Leonardo with a heart on.
We should probably change topics because I am beat red right now. I have no idea.
All right, well, that's gym and exercise, including sex. Number 3 for mitigating stress is, believe it or not, meditation. And I know you guys are going to go, oh, this is the hippie shit where I turn the knob off or I turn off the pod. Don't turn the fucking podcast off. You're going to like this. This is really amazing. So there is a Buddhist monk. His name is Matthew Ricard. And there was a study done where they hooked up 256 different sensors to his head to measure his brain activity. While the sensors were hooked up to his head and measuring his brain activity, he began a compassion meditation. And when that happened, the gamma wave production went off the chart. Activity in the left prefrontal cortex also went up rapidly relative to the right half, which indicates a large increase in
happiness
and unlikeliness for negativity. In other words, his compassion meditation that he did increased his happiness and removed negativity from his mindset. These changes are generally related to improvements in learning, attention, memory, and consciousness. The study also looked at other monks, and they showed significant changes in their brain function as well. And check this out, guys. It wasn't just when they were meditating. Their brain activity in a normal state of consciousness looks like a novice person, so a beginner trying to meditate. They are also able to switch off negative thoughts more easily than people who don't meditate. This is consistent with several other studies, and these results are proof that meditation offers profound benefits. One of the things that I hear a lot is when people are trying to remove negative thoughts from their mind or the negative trigger points or just negativity in general. I see this a lot in our group. People post and ask questions about it. They say, do you guys ever have situations where this negative thought keeps coming back, or I'm just surrounded by this negative stuff? I see that a lot. This is a solution to that. Meditation, daily meditation, and it doesn't have to be long. P, what's the minimum time you would recommend?
I mean, 60 seconds for someone who's never done it. That's about what I started at. And I worked my way up to 5 minutes. Now I can sit there for an indefinite amount of time. I will sit there for 45 minutes, 55 minutes with no stimulation whatsoever.
And this comes when you turn off the fucking TV.
Well, it also comes after 4 years of trying.
Well, what I'm getting at is people are like, where are we going to get 45 minutes? I'm like, turn off the fucking TV.
Yeah.
Get the fuck off Instagram.
Or get up earlier. The most precious time that I meditate is when I get up before my family and I am in that space because there's nobody needing. There's nobody calling.
I have a great idea right now. So I want you guys to do an experiment with me. Every time you pick up your phone and you check social media, I want you to make note of it in a journal. I want you to get a social media journal. And if you're not posting something that is beneficial for everybody around you that's on your feed, you're going to keep track of it. If you are scrolling through the feed just to see what other people are doing, I want you to keep track of it. And I want you to see how much time you spend on social media every single. I don't care if you pick it up and you look at it for 30 seconds. I want you to write that shit down.
Let's talk about what that consists of. That consists of Facebook, scrolling the newsfeed is Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and we're not saying this is bad. Everything in moderation. And I'd say
do we count Tinder?
YouTube?
I don't know. YouTube, definitely.
I say that Tinder is personal development.
Because it's leading to sexual transmutation.
Exactly. And that's what this is all about. So you guys, I want to talk about what compassion meditation is. I'm going to tell you really quickly how I do it and how you can do it tomorrow morning when you get up before the sunrise.
And I'm going to eat a dried
before
mango.
Your children. And Gabe's going to very loudly chew on one of those pig's ears over there.
It's a dried mango.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to throw up. Does anybody have that issue, like where they hear food eating and they want to punch someone in the freaking face?
It's just you.
It's so weird. I'm not an angry person.
You need to continue what you're talking about. I'm going to show you very small dots.
Okay, I don't want to see dots. And
She has
you
a
guys
thing
just
with
caught
dots.
my 2 tweaks.
If she sees
No, I can't even hear you talk about what it is. Okay, you guys.
little tiny dots
No,
close together,
no,
freak her out.
no.
She gets sick.
Oh my gosh.
It's a real thing.
I'm going to throw up. I looked at the carpet. I have problems. I usually don't have a problem with carpet, but then the way that you put that, like that
It's
really
just small dots put together.
disrupted my digestive system. What was I even talking about?
It's a real condition.
Okay, so I'm stressed out. And I'm going to go to a place of compassion. And what I do is I focus on the area of my body where I feel my consciousness. And maybe I feel it in my head. Maybe I feel it in my chest. Where do you feel your consciousness, your aliveness, the fact that you breathe and that you exist? Look into that place with your eyes closed. Now, I want you to take that energy and feel the love and feel the wholeness. And I want you to wrap everyone in your home up in that consciousness, up in that love. After a minute of that, expand it out into your neighborhood. Who do you see? People that you've never met, people you see walking the dog. Expand that consciousness, expand that love. Then to the state that you live in. Then to the world. Then outward to the planets. Extend it to every breathing, living thing, including people, animals, plants. That's compassion exercise. Understanding that you are connected to everything in your existence, everything that is alive. That is compassion meditation. That is what the monks do. And that is why they are learning.
Is it cool if I bring the microphone
attention.
back to my mouth so I can actually talk now that you've
Well, as long as you're done with mangoes and I'm done.
I ate all the mangoes. So that's compassion meditation. So what I'd like to challenge you guys to, in addition to your social media journal, is to start meditating on a daily basis. You can start with 60 seconds.
What do we call it? Meditation.
And you can do Priscilla's compassion meditation, or if you got 60 seconds of your day, hit your timer.
Well, that was what the study was on. So we were talking.
Well, yes, but I'm saying if you're a novice, you've never meditated before, all you got to do is find a quiet spot where you're not going to be interrupted. And you just have to be still with your thoughts. You just need to clear your mind of everything, of worry, of your tasks for the day, of what's going on with work, and literally just be still.
And that's a lot for a beginner. Like clearing your mind, because I know that when I first started out, I would clear my mind and then this voice would come and be like, hey, stupid idiot. You know that stupid thing that you did that stupid time? That was really stupid. And then I'm like, oh no. And then
That
it's like, why are you judging yourself? Why are you, so if you're just starting out and you want that quiet space, go outside and pick up a leaf. Study the veins on the back of that leaf. Feel the texture of the leaf and find a way to be grateful for what an amazing thing that leaf is. It is alive. It is growing. It is green. Whatever it takes to get outside of the chaos and the clutter of life, it will free you.
So that's meditation. Oh, you know what? With meditation too, it really helps to start with some deep breathing. So just sit there, take several deep breaths, 5 to 10.
Make sure that they're super creepy.
Yeah. Well,
Something like that.
That's fast, rapid breathing. We're talking about slow, deep breaths.
Actually, that's not necessarily true.
Darth Vader.
That is definitely the best way to start with breathing. So breathing in.
I am your father. No. It's the Mandela effect. It's actually, no, I am your father, not Luke, I am your father.
See, that's another podcast in and of itself.
Mandela effect, guys, for a whole nother podcast. All right, moving on.
But wait, let me talk about the breath. That's where you were at.
But moving on.
The biggest thing that you can do with breath is breathing all the way in your breaths
Until
your lungs are completely expanded and exhaling. And he was making a joke about the creepy breathing that I was doing, but I started the joke, so it's my fault. I'm not being a blamey pants. But you can also do rapid fire breath. But controlling that breathing so you're actually getting oxygen in will do amazing things for your mind.
Yay. Okay, moving on. Okay, next one. This is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is 4. We're going to talk about clearing the clutter. And this is as simple as cleaning up your frickin' work area, cleaning up your house, making sure that everything has a place. Because most people, when they see disorganization, it may not register immediately in the front of their mind, but it is causing stress. Because things don't have a home, things don't have a place. Yes, Einstein was a pig. Einstein was a slob. That was Einstein. You, however...
I never knew that about Einstein.
Yeah, he was a slob. Totally. Dude didn't care about what he wore, never did his hair. I mean, you see his crazy hair.
I guess I did know about his hair.
Yeah, he was a slob. And there's a lot of studies done that show that very highly intelligent people tend to be kind of slobbish because their minds are thinking of other things, very intellectual things, far beyond what I think of.
That's
apparently.
so interesting. That's so interesting because, like, my dad, he's like, Priscilla, I just really don't care what I wear. Your mother lays my outfit out every day, and
Yeah,
I just
right.
put on whatever she wears. I don't think I would wear a clean shirt or even change into pajamas. Like, he is so spiritually minded. He is like so. I don't know. My dad's like his own category that he has a hard time. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's what it is. It's like the connection to the spirit. And that's like the flow, the thing that like goes, the thing like with Einstein. He had a direct pipeline to every single piece of information that you could ever fathom. And he was not grounded here. He wasn't present here, which is why his marriages failed. Which is why, wow, that's pretty deep.
Super profound. But for everybody that is not Einstein, I'm not saying that you can't be Einstein. Have you ever walked into your work area when it's messy? And then you're like, dude, I got to clean this shit up. And you clean it up and you're totally renewed. And you have this brand new renewed sense of, I'm going to go do all the cool work stuff today. And I'm going to conquer.
Inspiration.
Yeah, you're inspired. It's about having a clean, non-cluttered work area. You know, I am notorious for letting my office get thrashed because there's papers and then there's SD cards everywhere and I got cameras,
there's like a $10,000 camera like laying on the ground with like a cracked lens and he's like, oh no, and
I
I'm like,
have 3 GoPros on my desk at all time that are half disassembled. That's just, and it drives me nuts. And then as soon as Priscilla comes in and just basically takes her hand and just puts everything in a box and reorganizes
why? Because you trained me with fear.
I did not. You do that out of the kindness
ago.
of your heart.
No, I do now. But you trained me with fear 15 years ago.
Revisiting the previous podcast? Is that what you're doing? You're
if you guys haven't
back?
seen the podcast about how Gabe ruined my brain with fear.
I would love to see how people saw the last podcast.
Yeah. Comment below.
I believe you meant listen.
Probably. You know what's so funny? Okay, so Gabe and Mia go to the snow. You know what I did? I mean, I worked a lot and that was awesome. And I did other stuff. If you guys went to Snapchat, you saw, you know, that was awesome. Anyways, I went into my daughter's room and I threw so much stuff away. Ooh, it was awesome. I'd like to think she's a stage 4 clinger and I just took it all. You are sitting very proper right now.
I'm actually stretching my back.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm trying to stretch my piriformis.
Mm-hmm. It's very feminine.
I'm working on stretching the piriformis.
Anyways, gorgeous piriformis. So I threw away all this stuff. Mia walks in to her room and the colors are changed. It's clear. It's fresh. And she was so inspired and she began to create with the things that she had, those 3 rocks that I didn't throw away. And it became something that was inspirational to her. So those things that you love that are cluttering your life, put them in a box and get them out of your face for a minute and see how much more you feel inspired in your workspace.
So clear the clutter. All right, next one. Just say no. One of the things that...
No.
One of the things...
No.
What?
No. No.
It was like a bad episode of Family Guy when they just like Peter crashes and burns his skins and he's like
a little
ow, ow.
Or if you've ever had a 6-year-old.
And then they do it 8 more times and you're like, this is such overkill. But I don't watch TV anymore. Just say no.
No.
Stop! For fuck's sake, stop it. Stop it. Let me talk.
I will.
Overcommitting. One of the things that causes a lot of stress is many of us are conditioned just to say yes. And
yes.
It's part of I just flipped off Priscilla just so you guys know. Part of your growth process is understanding when to say no and understanding that time is the most valuable tool and asset that anyone has. Your time is so valuable that there is no price tag you can put on it. A lot of people undervalue themselves and they go, I have a $15 an hour job. That's my worth. That is 8 to 10 hours of your day that you're getting paid $15 an hour. Or maybe it's $30 an hour. Or maybe it's $25. Maybe it's $7 an hour. That is how people view themselves as their self-worth. The moment that you recognize and realize and embrace what you're worth is one of those defining moments in your life where you will be set free because you'll realize that you are no longer an hourly employee where you are only valued at X amount of dollars per hour. When I realized there was a ceiling on my hourly wages, even as a personal trainer, I could, we charged asinine amounts of money for that. But I can only make so much money.
Only like $350 an hour, but
still, you would
only have so many hours.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, I could probably work 12 hours a day for a week before I got really, really tired of standing on my feet.
I was so burnt out. I didn't even love doing it after a while.
Learn your value, guys. Your time is the most valuable thing that you have. Learn to leverage your time. Do not waste it, especially with overcommitting. If people are asking you to do stuff, understand your value. You don't have to be rude about it, but just understand your value and don't be afraid to say no. No, I won't. I can't be at this. I'm sorry, I can't be at this date. I've got to do this. Or you don't have to tell people. There's
maybe not saying you're sorry
reason.
Even. You don't need to be sorry for what you do with your time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Somebody needed to say that.
You guys, this is, you guys, this is, for two people that don't watch TV. That's awesome. So I've gotten to the point where I don't even give my phone time. When my phone rings, it's either off or on ignore. So if you call me, sorry, not sorry.
Like when I called you today to see if you'd come pick me up because the bike was broken down.
But see, the thing is, I will.
And the phone just rang.
I will kind of watch for my husband, mostly, sort of.
Mostly, sort of, except when there's an actual emergency.
But if, sorry, not sorry. I was out in nature, away from Wi-Fi, away from cellular data of any kind. And Mia and I had our faces in the dirt and we were playing with some pigs and ducks. That's what we were doing because that is life. That's when we feel free. And I really do kind of feel bad that I wasn't.
Well, there was nothing you could do anyway.
Accessible.
There was nothing you could do anyway. So it didn't matter. But the point is, guys and girls, don't be afraid to say no. Don't overcommit.
Your time is your time.
Don't avoid being a yes man or yes woman. And we're so conditioned just to say yes because we don't want to offend people. Well, fuck that shit, man. What about offending yourself? What about your time being raped of your most valuable asset because you just feel like society needs you to say yes? Guess what? You don't have to say yes. Learn to say no.
And guilt is the lowest thing on the vibrational scale. Like if you look at the vibrational scale, power versus force, you can see a photograph or a picture of the vibrational scale. But another thing besides guilt is like my parents. Like, oh, God bless my parents. They're so beautiful. They're amazing, servant-filled human beings. But my dad was a pastor. And every time the phone rang, he was on it because somebody was dying or about to die or needing or crying. And our family activities would stop so that he could be there. And then there was my mom, same exact thing. It was the prayer chain. It was this, it was that, it was this, it was that. They never owned their own time. And I have massive amount of respect for them because they are philanthropists. But are you really in charge of your time or are you giving it away to somebody because of a sense of either needing to be needed or a feeling of guilt?
It's mostly a feeling of guilt. Like, I should be a good friend and I should do this because that's what good friends do. Well, guess what? No. It's all about me.
Or they
my
need me.
enjoyment, and my enjoyment is my life. You get one fucking life.
Maybe it's a feeling of significance. I need to help this person because nobody else can help this person. Well, that's just arrogant.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I see where you're getting at. Let's stay on topic, though. I want to keep moving on just because I noticed we're getting up there in time. I'm actually going to cut this from 9 to 8. We're going to cut out the next one. But okay, guys, just say no. So don't overcommit to anything. Don't be afraid to say no. Know that time is one of your most valuable assets. Let's move on to the next one. Diet. So write this down, guys. Diet actually can play a huge role in the amount of stress that your body endures and incurs. So
there's this book that I'm writing that I have not finished. It's really sad, but I have this thing. It's called The Skinny Code. It's an amazing book. It definitely is going to come out. I'm going to get back on that. But it's called Energy in Motion. Energy in motion is the way that your body is responding to internal catalysts. When you eat food, your body is digesting and assimilating that food. And it is causing an emotion or an energetic response that you might not be aware of. Processed foods, chemicals, pesticides, hydrogenated foods, processed sugars, salt, white table salt. Do you know how stressful that is to your body? Your body does not know what to do with it. It views it as a chemical weapon. That's why you retain water, because your body's confused. It's like, do I hold on to water?
That's the next major terrorist attack.
Yes, it's salt.
They're going to throw salt at us.
Just salt.
Mm-hmm. They put salt in the warhead.
Ionized salt. They're like, we're going to wipe all y'all out. And it's going to be that cute little girl
we're going to stress you to death.
That cute little girl on the blue bottle. I don't even know what that is, the ionized salt, but she's like all cute.
Oh, Leslie's salt.
She's evil. It's the evil salt girl.
She's the new face of terror.
but and even like digestive process. If you're like, meat's very difficult to digest, y'all.
It is.
And if you're eating meat, if you're eating meat from a source like, I don't know, McDonald's for one, but I mean, I'm not pointing fingers or whatever, but if you're eating a source of meat from cattle that is being farmed and mistreated, you think that energy stops? Okay, I'm not even going to get into that because I'm not a vegetarian, but it's been sitting heavy on my heart. But anyways.
Well, I see one of your awesome bullet points here. It says having gas is a huge stressor.
All right. So that's nuts. That's meats. That's legumes. So that's beans. I thought that was you farting.
That was a Harley motorcycle on the freeway. It would have been perfect timing, though, talking about gas as a huge stressor.
I hope that comes through. I hope that comes through on the podcast. That could not have been better timing.
Well, anybody that's had a protein shake knows about protein farts.
So what it is that your body can't assimilate the food fast enough. If you are overeating and you feel like crap, it's because your body's not assimilating the food that you've put in. I don't even want to call it nutrition. But the same thing can happen with good for you foods like nuts and legumes and meat. Because it's taxing on the body. If you're eating an excessive amount of calories, that's taxing too.
You know what? Let's talk about gas as a stressor. Because I will tell you what, you guys know I eat a lot of food. And when I was bulking and doing the Unleashed program, like I ate a lot of food. And I still eat a lot of food. And, sometimes it is really stressful because, like, I'll be on a plane and I'm like, dude, I got to fart. And it's like,
you're missing the point.
I'm like, this is a 4-hour flight and we haven't even taken off yet. And it hurts.
You're going to make me cry. You're a terrible student.
So stressed out at those. Like, I'm like uncomfortable, very stressed out going, do I go to the bathroom during the ascent on the flight, or am I going to get kicked off the plane because I had to fart in the bathroom because I didn't want to offend the people around me? Like, what do I do? And like, it hurts.
I just want to say,
it's painful.
I just want to say that the real person that's stressed out because of his gas is me, because I have to endure that. And we don't do those things in front of each other on purpose.
But, every now and then.
But sometimes when he is on Unleashed, it might happen. So gas is stressful for you and your spouse. I have been known to
smoke out the entire house once or twice.
Yeah. But another thing, this is something that I noticed recently because I went through a crazy bout of like anxiety, which that is like not me. That is not in my genetic coding at all. I'm not an anxiety person. I'm not. I struggle with depression in the past. Like, heck yeah. I jump off a balcony better than anybody, but anxiety was not my jam. But for some reason I was feeling this anxiety over specific things, like, things about like my kid or whatever. And I was like, why am I feeling this way? And I went and I meditated. I'm like, what's the answer? What's the answer? And Gabe comes up and he's like, how much water have you had today? And I was like, oh my gosh, I am dehydrated. You guys, dehydration can increase your stress levels and maybe be the catalyst.
Specifically cause anxiety.
It did for me. But stress and anxiety are so similar because it is the chasm. What was that awesome quote that I did when we were preparing for this content or this
I don't know.
podcast?
Oh, it's down in the next one under goal setting. Oh, look at that. That's the next topic. Go ahead.
It is the next topic, and we'll jump right into that. But what was that quote that I said? And you guys can tweet this. Get ready.
I will quote that quote when we get there. I don't want to go too far ahead.
All right, then we'll jump forward because my quote was so delicious. You're going to eat it.
Okay.
You are going to eat it, and
Number
then you're going to
7
tweet it.
Is goal setting.
Eat it and tweet it.
And you guys know I'm a huge fan of goal setting for more than stressful reasons, but it really boils down to people look at where they are in life and where they want to be. And it can be stressful. You go, I'm never going to get there. There's a syndrome I've coined. It's called the I'm never going to get there syndrome, because you see the large journey in front of you and the huge amounts of work that have to be done to get from point A to point B. And point B for most people is a financial goal, or I got to be honest. I truly think that most people's point B is a financial goal, because one of the largest stressors is money. People stress about money. They stress about paying their bills. And they go, if I just had enough money, I'd be here. If I just had enough money, I'd be here. But I'm never going to get there because this. Set goals. Set goals. And while you're writing stuff down, many of you have done this before. Do it again. Write your goals down right now. I want you to write down your 30-day goal. Whether it's financial, whether it's a physical transformation, whether it's spiritual, write down a 30-day goal. Then I want you to write down a 3-month goal. Then I want you to write down a 6-month goal, and then a year, and then 3 years, and then 5 years. And the reason that I do it in this way is because it breaks it up into chunks, manageable chunks, so that you can see progress. Small progress positively rewards yourself. Your brain learns and will be trained that small wins lead to big wins. You are training yourself to think positively. You are encouraging your brain to solve the problems, find solutions that will get you to your goals. Now, Priscilla's quote was really cool. Your quote was, the end goal plus time equals stress. Time is a construct that human beings have created. One day somebody said, hey, the earth goes around the sun and it takes 365 days to do that. And every day the earth rotates and it takes 24 hours to do that. And we're going to divide this into a linear construct. We just created stress because now we're thinking about the end goal plus the amount of time that we have.
Well, you know what's funny? And this leads us into the next point. If I say 24 hours to you, you're on it. You're like all stressed out. You're like, oh, only 24 hours. I say 24 hours to my 6-year-old and she's like, oh my gosh, that's like 1,000,000 years.
Because time is relevant.
You create your perception of time. So if you see your end goal and you see the time that it takes you to get there, do you realize that you can change the way that you're perceiving that amount of time? So if you've got a deadline at work, can you imagine that project being done, being on time, being efficient? Can you imagine yourself crushing it with that goal? With ample amount of time, extra amount of time. Time to kick your feet up on your husband's favorite chair with your shoes on, like I did in Snapchat the other day.
This is legitimately, this is some serious stuff. This is legitimately Einstein's theory of relativity.
We are grazing the surface.
Time is relative to the observer.
We are
time is relative to the observer.
Grazing the surface.
And you have the ability to either speed up or slow down time. And that is, you've experienced this. Everyone has experienced this because when we were kids, do you remember summer? It lasted forever. And then Christmas, you're like, it's never going to be Christmas. It seems like it's so far away. And then all of a sudden you're 16. You're like, oh, dude, I've had 16 Christmases and 16 summers. And now I'm graduated. And you've noticed as you're in your 20s, time speeds up. Because you're living paycheck to paycheck and you need that money. So 2 weeks goes by really quick and then a month goes by really quick. And then suddenly time goes by really fucking fast.
Except for
when it doesn't.
Because you are in control of how you perceive that time. Anxiety and stress, I want to say that they are the same exact thing in a lot of ways, especially because end goal, time, stress. Exactly what we were just talking about.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, please.
Oh, well, on a daily basis, I've noticed that I get really stressed out when I have lots of tasks to do and I don't know which ones to do. Yeah, I'm running a 7-figure company here and I'm just like, dude, there is a shit ton of stuff that has to get done.
And that is classic clutter right there.
It is part of getting rid of the clutter, but I also think this is under goal setting and it falls under your 3 to Thrive, which we have mentioned many times in the past. Your 3 to Thrive is the 3 things that you are going to do today that will catapult you towards your goal. So whatever your 30-day, 60-day. This is a non-binary podcast, as Howard would say. 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, 1-year goal, whichever one that you're striving for at that point. Look at your tasks and prioritize those bad boys. Every single day. I have a whiteboard and I write my 3 to Thrive on there every single day. And I write down the 3 things that are going to make me feel like I got there.
I'm looking at your 3 to Thrive right now and your goals for the next year, actually.
They're there.
Delicious.
They're there. And
this man practices what he preaches. Go back to our last podcast. What was it called? What did we call it? We deemed it as...
how to lead anyone.
Well, yes, how to lead anyone. But what is it where the speed of the leader, speed of the pack, speed of the leader, speed of the pack?
Pace setting.
Pace setting. Pace setting.
Pace setting. So you're 3 to Thrive. If you are stressed out at work, if you're stressed out about knowing what to do, pick your 3 to Thrive. It can be at work. It can also be with your family. It can be setting your entrepreneurial goals. It can be setting your physical goals. So if you're doing the Genesis program, today I'm going to do my meal prep. Today I'm going to do my measurements. And today I'm going to get up and do my fucking cardio in the morning, even though I hate it.
And this is like breaking it into chunks, you guys, so it doesn't feel like it's so big. These are manageable goals that you can actually stand up and celebrate at the end of the week and be like, I did this thing. I did this. And like you said, write them down. Now, would you like to know how to slow down time? I'm going to give you a little secret. If you deal with anxiety, if you deal with stress on a regular basis,
have more sex.
Definitely. But stop thinking about the past, where you failed, where you didn't meet goals. Stop thinking about the future, where you need to be, where you want to be, what you desire in your life, and just be in the present moment. You'll look at your 3 to Thrive. Okay, what's one? What's the one thing that I'm doing in this second? The other 2 of my 3 to Thrive can wait. But right now, I'm going to pour into this one thing. I see on Gabe's board right now, schedule tour locations to Dallas. You think he was thinking about I'm like trying to read from here. Recreating his new Genesis preseason, because he's been overhauling that whole... You guys have no idea what Gabe's task list is like. But if he didn't completely focus on scheduling tour locations to Dallas, then it would not be done. And you know what? I don't mean to blow the lid off crap right now, but it's done, you guys.
It's done. We are going to Dallas on June 30th. We will be in Dallas, Texas at the UFC gym in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Be there or be square.
Well, we're at 99% there. We just got to lock it in. Actually, Eric from the UFC gym contacted us. He's awesome. He wants to do it. He's just running it by the bigwig. If all goes good, we will know hopefully by tomorrow, June 30th, Dallas, Texas, July 1st. Austin, Texas. Location still to be determined. Our man Brian Parch is working on that right now. By the way, guys, Brian Parch is our new tour manager. Just in case you want to know, Brian, we worked out with him in Austin last year. We did a shoulder workout with him. Me and Howie did. The dude crushed it. He's now part of the team, and he's killing it. We are super proud of him. He's a moderator in our private Facebook group, and now he's our tour manager. So he's setting all this up.
Class act, delicious human.
Ready, Dallas.
Love that
we're
guy.
coming. We have 13 cities that we are visiting this year between June, July, and August. You better hope we're on that list, or your city's on that list, because we are bringing it.
See, I felt your state change because I celebrated what you did, because I looked at your board and I called you out, and you had done that top of your 3 to Thrive that you wrote down today with 2 gigantic arrows. You did that. Dude, are we being honest or what?
We're totally being honest.
And I felt your state change because we celebrated one of your successes, and we didn't celebrate it before this moment right now. That's awesome. Hey, high five right here.
Life has begun. I don't sing except in the shower.
Blink.
Some guys are good at things. Others are good at sings. I am not one of the things. So break it up into chunks. And, we were just talking about, Priscilla, what were we talking about?
You can sing anything. I'm like, it's so cute.
It's so cute. It's terrible.
No,
the last one on the
adorable.
list. And if you're going to write anything down, please write this down. Stop worrying. Stop worrying. Worry is an energy suck. It does not solve a thing. You can worry about your bills being paid, or you can go out and do something about it. Worrying blocks your frontal cortex, and that's where all your ideas come from. It's where all your intelligent thoughts come. It's your problem-solving part of your brain is your frontal cortex, and when you worry, it shuts down. And you're going right now, you're going, Gabe, how do I not worry? I'm at a dead-end job. I hate myself when I look in the mirror. My family life is a wreck. My marriage is a wreck. I don't know where the next meal is coming from. What do you mean, don't worry? That's exactly what I mean. Don't worry. Instead, use that as a catalyst to solve the problems and change your position in life. Advance across that chessboard with intent. This month, I am not going to worry about bills, because I am taking this measure right now, tonight, to solve that problem.
And if you guys don't know us, Gabe and I are fire and ice. We are going to always come from 2 separate. I feel like that's why we're put together, because we are supposed to give 2 separate perspectives. Because what Gabe said is so right on. It gives me chills up my spine because it's delicious, but it also stresses me out incredibly. If that drives you, you go crush it, and you crush it for me. If it stresses you out, go back to the leaf, and you look at the veins of that leaf, and you look at the color of that leaf, and you just breathe for 5 minutes. And then you go crush it. Sometimes you have to wipe everything away, clear the clutter.
Now, I think that is a great solution. Even though you say we're fire and ice, I fully agree with you. Sitting down and being still with your thoughts, meditating, when all this shit is crashing down on you, and you're like, I'm freaked out, I'm stressed out, I'm worrying because I can't pay my bills and I don't know what's going on in my house.
You're not in the flow.
You're not in the zone. You're not in the vortex. You're not in the flow. You're not vibrating at a high state. Go sit and be still, and the answers will come. I promise you, if you are just still with your thoughts. But you're not
sitting there like being like, stupid thoughts, stop thinking that. No, you like gotta just be present with the leaf.
Someone once told me, when you sit to meditate, you start seeing words eventually.
Tom Howard.
It was Tom Howard. I was getting there. But it was Tom.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, he told you and you told me.
You told me.
Was it? I don't know. Anyway.
You told me. I was like, oh.
He said, look for the space in between the words. And a lot of times when we start calming our minds, we start thinking about stuff and things, and we start seeing words spelled out in our subconscious mind. Start looking at the space in between those words, because in between those words is stillness. And in that stillness, you will find the answer. And yes, this is esoteric. Yes, this is some Buddhist monk shit.
Or maybe it's rising above everything that we were told was real that really isn't real. This is just the Matrix. I mean, y'all like videos? Y'all like movies? Y'all like films?
Elon Musk recently said, there is a greater probability that we are living life in a simulation. In fact, he said an exponentially greater probability that we are living in a simulation. We are experiencing a simulation than we are not.
Have you ever thought of something so hard that it became your reality? That's not a mistake. That's not chance. Realize that you're creating all of this.
So don't worry. Find that solution. Okay.
Oh, you had to throw
I just had to throw it around.
And I'm gonna throw these two.
Find that solution.
That was so pathetic.
So be still with your thoughts, guys. Stop. If you take anything away from tonight, I want you to take away, do not worry. Stop worrying, because worrying does not accomplish anything. Action accomplishes. And by action, it can be taking the initiative to go meditate, taking the initiative to be still with your thoughts, taking the initiative to, what are you pointing at, Priscilla?
To open up Snap. I want to show her. We threw our papers all over the ground.
I don't want to open up Snap. I'm in the middle of a massive close here. Come on, woman.
I know you were doing amazing things, but can
you can't open my phone because it's a new iPhone X and it's got the facial recognition.
I know, I don't like.
Smile. There we go.
I don't like that thing. Oh, wait, no, I'm just jealous.
Stop worrying. Focus. Let your intent, let the problem at hand be your catalyst. If you cannot pay your bills, if you're worried about paying your bills, find a solution. Sit and be still and let it come to you without worry, without freaking out. You have to swipe up on the fucking thing. There is no home button.
Who made this thing?
The poor people that are listening to this are like, yes, I get it. What? Swipe up where? What do I do?
So if you guys are not following us on Snapchat, we're hilarious. So Body Spartan.
That's cool.
Snapchat.
This really deep point I was trying to make. This really profound moment in the podcast. Just go ahead and interrupt it with fucking Snapchat.
You interrupted first. I'm just saying follow us on Snapchat because it's delish.
Blamey Pants over here. Are you done? You can't even use it. You don't even know how to use the camera. Just get your own. Anyway. Jesus. You're killing me, woman. You're absolutely killing me.
The papers all over the ground.
Yes, I threw the papers around because I was excited about telling people not to worry and to be in the moment. Be still with your thoughts and the answers will come. Worrying doesn't solve a thing. Stop worrying. Start focusing on the solution and then go out and take action. Action is the answer. Action is when shit gets done. You can sit around, you can think about it all day long, but when you have that moment and you understand what it is that you need to do, you need to go out and you need to act on it. You need to act right now. Do not wait. Do not sit on it. Do not let the sun go down on that day without taking a step towards meeting your goal, towards freeing yourself from your current situation, whatever that situation is, whatever hurdle you have to get over, whatever mountain that you need to climb. Now is the time to act on it. All right, guys, that is it for this week. As always, lead, inspire, motivate the masses. Motivate the masses, not the asses.
Motivate the masses.
For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.